Hello, Joan. Can you hear me okay? I'm trying something a little different tonight, trying a new set of headphones. Hey, Rex, how are you? I'd be good if I can figure out how to record this audio right. As Joan knows here, the last several times I've had trouble recording audio with the the. No, I'm using GoToMeeting and then a program called ScreenFlow that records everything. The problem is the audio, you guys' audio and my audio doesn't sync up every time that I try to record, so it's just been a little bit of a hassle. So I've got a brand new headset with audio going in, and hopefully that'll solve it tonight. We'll see. But anyway, let's get started. Rex, let's start with you. Do you have anything happening? Any major concerns or questions? Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. Did we talk about this before? All right, yeah. So the input that I have is there are two possibilities. Either A, the fluorescent tubes that are inside the LCD have gone bad, which is normally not the case. Now, I have seen that plenty of times on that model iMac, but if those fluorescent tubes have gone out, yeah, that's a pretty expensive repair. That's replacing the LCD panel. However, if you take the LCD panel off, there are these little connectors that supply power to those the the fluorescent tubes inside the LCD. It's possible that the connectors have come loose. So what we could try now, first thing you should try is 2 months out of the first year warranty. Maybe you kind of throw yourself in the mercy of the court. You go for prayer for judgment. If it's an LCD, they might take care of it outside of the warranty. I don't know. I certainly can't speak for them, and more likely than not they won't. But you could try them first. The second thing we could try is the next time you have me over for some other item. Then I could real quickly take the LCD. You just need to remind me because I need a special tool that's laying on the ground right now. Actually, it's in my car. Where I can take the LCD panel off and I can see if that connector is snug or not. But okay. Well, that's definitely possible. I tell you, I've done that. I've taken hundreds of those apart, and if I don't remember to connect, that's there are three of them. Actually, no, there are two on that model. And if you don't connect one, you have one side of the LCD that is bright and the other one that doesn't. And sometimes I'm not looking. I give it back to a client, and they go, "Hey, why is my screen half done?" I'm like, "Oh gosh." So you go back, you connect that again, and you're usually good to go. So hopefully that's it. That's what you want it to be. I don't know. I doubt that they would do it for you. Um, yeah, it's it's because it's such a madhouse down there. Uh, yeah, yeah, right. You don't want to have to deal with that. So, uh, all right. Well, the other thing though is the longer you wait out of that warranty, the less likely they are to kind of throw you a bone and take care of it. But like I said, I cannot speak for them, so I have no idea which way they'd go with it. Yeah, yeah, there's a possibility, and it's a real quick little fix if that's the case. All right, let's jump over to Joan. Joan, what you got this evening? All right, congratulations. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'll run down the list. Let me run over to Irene real quick and check. Let me check in with Irene. Irene's also on the call tonight. Irene, are you with us? Irene, very good. How are you? How's that streaming of the music going for you? Oh, good. That's good. Excellent. Well, do you have a general question? Go ahead. Okay. Well, knowing what I know about you, say that last sentence again for me, Irene. Yeah. Well, knowing what I know about you, you live over at the Cypress, and oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. At Southminster, do they? Well, then that's different because I think the Cypress they supply the internet, but at Southminster, I think you are in charge of supplying your own. In other words, you buy your own internet access. Is that correct, or is that part of the facilities fees? All right, that's a really important thing then. If Southminster supplies the internet connection for you, then it's really none. It's out of your hands. You have nothing to do with it. If you are paying a monthly bill on it, um, if you're paying a monthly bill, then I would say still no. If you have the option to say no, what you need in the long run, Irene, is a wireless router, and you do not want to get it from Time Warner Cable because they're gonna charge you an extra fee each month. If they prey on people that don't know any better, they'll have a conversation with them and they'll say, "Do you need internet access?" And you say yes, and then they say, "Do you need a wireless router? Or you need wireless in your house?" And everybody, of course, says yes. And so they say, "Well, you can use our wireless router," and they give you a wireless router, and then they build a little additional fee in each month. So when you are ready to go to a wireless router, then you can get like an Apple router or something, and your son can, I'd be happy to talk to your son about it, and he knows exactly what you need too. So, and then we can get that connected for you. But I wonder what enhancements we're talking about with your Time Warner cable. Do you know what they're talking about? Maybe faster or something like that. For those of you listening, Irene doesn't have a wireless router, but she uses her iMac as her wireless router. And Joan, you might remember she actually streams her music to an AirPlay device in another room. So she is kind of cheating the system a little bit in that she uses her iMac as the wireless router and streams the Pandora music over to another stereo in another room. But Irene, the way that you do it is not the way most people do it. Most people have a dedicated wireless router, but you've gotten away without one. The only thing that I worry about, and you know this already, is that if you have a power outage, you probably have to go back and turn that back on again. You know, and we've gone through that. We've worked through that before. So it's not optimal. It's not exactly what we want in a perfect world, but it works for you though too. Irene, did you have another issue? Another question? Okay. Hmm. Okay. When you are checking your email, are you using the stamp with the computer? You know, your computer has an icon at the very bottom that looks like a stamp with an eagle in it. Is that how you're getting your email? I think you are. Okay, so when you click that stamp, your email comes up, and you're talking about these pictures that are attached. Um, if a person sends you a group of pictures, I'm trying to see if I can find, usually my mom sends me groups of pictures here. Let me see if I can find one from my mom. Um, Usually, you can see the first picture and the second and the third and the fourth. Uh, Let me see if I can find one from her. Uh, I'm sure there's one in here. There was one. Okay, so here's an example, the one that my mom sent to me. If it loads up, uh, it should be multiple pictures here. Joan, I think I need a new computer too. All right, so there's my nephew at Halloween, and there's multiple pictures here. Now, what you're saying, Irene, is when people send you multiple pictures, only the first one shows and the others don't? Okay. Well, at the very top, I'm going to say, Irene, that I don't believe that's exactly true. But at the very top, if you hover over it, you have an ability to do things with this, including, let's see, where's our, you see the little, where is that? I'm trying to, they've changed this here. That's forward. I don't want to forward. Might be in details. Irene, can you find an example on your computer of one that we're talking about, and we jump over and look at your screen? Okay, we're going to send it over. All right, Irene, you're going to see a request for me to show your screen and for me to control your screen. Just say yes to both of those to show my screen. Yeah, and you can open your email too. hmm Joan, how's my audio tonight, Joan? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, yes, Irene. And there's a button, there's a message that I sent you on your screen that it probably says show my screen. So if you can find that window, that little button on the window somewhere, click that and then we can see your computer. Can you see that button anywhere? No? Okay, great. So select that and then I'll let you know when we can see your screen. Yeah, you still got to find that show my screen button. While mm, I don't think so. Hmm. Can you click that show my screen button? All right. We'll see if we can get you here. You're for some reason you're not coming in. Tell you what, I'm going to go back to myself. All right, I'm going to go back to myself here and then I'll try to send you another request. So, give me just a moment. All right? All right, Irene, I'm going to send you that request again and let's see if that pops up on your screen. Did that pop up on your screen this time? Yes, and select that button. Hmm. For some reason, we're not seeing your screen, Irene. I don't know why that is, but I can see that you look like you're presenting. Mm, for some reason, your screen's not coming in here tonight, Irene. Maybe it's a problem on my side, but if I could see that, I could get a better idea of what you're talking about. I tell you what, let's give it a couple seconds here, and I'll try to send the request back over to you in a moment. I'm going to take back control. Irene, I'm going to put you on pause for a moment. Maybe we can get it set here and again in a second. So Rex, let's move over to your next question, and we'll come back to Irene in a second. Yeah. All right. Yes. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that would be a great idea for you because if you take that Airport Express and you go to your hotel room, there's hopefully there's Ethernet there. You take your Airport Express, you plug it up, you make it a standalone wireless router in the it's not going to, it might not cover the entire suite that you might be staying in, but if it's just a small room, yeah, no problem. And of course, you want to put password protection on it so that it's secure. And Rex, I'll tell you, I've had several clients who have gone down to the Caribbean and other islands, and they've come back with their emails compromised. Because what they'll do is they'll go down there and they'll stay at like a bungalow or something, and they'll join the open wireless access, the open access points there. And from what the only thing I can think of, because I've had this happen to probably 5 different people, is like gardeners or groundskeepers or something will sort of survey their computers because they're on these open wireless networks. So as a general rule of thumb, don't join an open wireless network when you're down there. All right, but that's a great idea. Take that Airport Express. Yeah, then you're well. I, you should still go with the same rule of thumb, honestly, because you are still moving data back and forth. It's not as easy. They're not going to peruse your iPad file system or anything like that. They're not going to look through that. But just make sure you're on that secure. If they were really, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, you have to have a solid Ethernet connection in your room, and you might want to take an extra small little Ethernet cable, and then that Ethernet cable is going to go to the Airport Express. Now, if you take one out of your home, currently your Airport Express in your home is repeating or extending your larger router somewhere else. So you want to take a pin, and when you get there, you want to hold that pin down and plug it in and reset it. Now, the way to reset the newer modern Airport Expresses is that you have to hold the pin in first, then plug the device in. You can't plug the device in and then push the button down. You have to push it down with a pin and then plug it in. Hold it for about 5 to 7 seconds. It'll go green, 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 and then it will recycle. And then you can go into your airport utility, which there's a great version of the airport utility on the iPad, and configure it with your wireless password. Then when you I think that taking your own secure password protected Wi-Fi network is a great idea considering where you're going and my experience what I've dealt with other clients that I've worked with. I wouldn't I think it'd be a great idea. Then don't even bother. Right. That's right. Right. The idea of the the express would be if you were say an embassy suites and they have a little office area set up over there with a live Ethernet port. But that's getting more and more old school as we go along. All right. All right, Rex, is that it for you? All right, I'm gonna jump back over to Joan real quick. All right, we'll see you, Rex. Joan, did you want to pop in here? Do you want to give us an idea, Joan, of what the question that is on your mind? Because we're going to get caught up in these other attendees here tonight, and I don't want to totally ignore you. So, was there? I mean, I'll hold on with you if you want to hold on through these other ladies here, but I just wanted to give you a chance if you had a small thing to jump in with. All right. Uh, yes, except for the modern laptops now have something called Power Nap, which gives the computer the ability to check your email even while the computer's closed. But that's the most modern. That's computer. That's MacBooks and MacBook Pros only sold within the last 6 months or so have this Power Nap feature. But yes, sleep and close. Oh, okay. Okay, I was thinking you got an iMac. You got a MacBook Pro. All right. Well, congratulations. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't hear that last thing. What? This is what I use right here to play my games. I actually have a joystick that I plug in when I want to play my games. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, because that those. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Okay. So you have iTunes on another computer. Then that computer is still in your house, I'm assuming. All right. And you have your MacBook, you have your new MacBook Pro with iTunes on it. And for some reason, when you did your data transfer, only some of the songs are there. All right. So here's what you're going to do. In iTunes, in iTunes on both machines, the one over to the side and the one that you're using now, what you want to do is you want to go under the word advanced and make sure that you turn home sharing on under the same Apple ID that's on both your iMac and your MacBook Pro. Most likely the iMac already has home sharing turned on. So once home sharing is turned on that machine and the other machine, you're going to be able to see your older iMac library as a shared device. So over on the left-hand side, you'll see your iMac. You'll select the iMac. Let's say my iPhone is my iMac for a moment. You'll select your iMac, and then you're going to go down and you're going to choose music. Now you'll know that it's a home shared area because it's going to be in the shape of a house. If it was not home shared, it would be sort of a square with like a music note in it. So your home share over on the iMac, home share on the MacBook Pro, select the iMac from the MacBook Pro, then you're going to see all your music listed on the on the iMac. You're going to grab that and you're going to drag it and drop it into the top area. So you can select all of the songs. You could go Command A, select all of the songs that are on the iMac, drag them, and you're going to click and you're going to drag into this top area up here in the top left-hand corner, and that's going to highlight blue. Once that highlights blue, then you're going to let go. While I'm talking to you, let me see if I can open up iTunes on another computer real quick to show you a little bit better example of how this is going to work. So basically, you're opening up both iTunes libraries and you're taking from one library and dumping it in the other. So, all right, notice I just opened up another computer and here I have 17-inch home library listed. You see that? Okay, so that 17-inch is open. That's my laptop over here. So I can click on that. Now wirelessly, it's loading all the music so that I can have access to it and play it on this computer. It's not on this computer yet. I'm just going to be able to see it. Now because I'm hosting this GoToMeeting right now, it's going to take a while. There it is. So let's say I have some songs that I want on this. All right? Those are the songs that are on my other computer. I take that song and I drag it and I drop it into that top area. And you see how that top area turns blue? Once I let go of that, it's copied over. But let's say I want all of my songs, not just the 40, but 200 of them. I need to Command A to select all of them. Right. And then you're going to drag them and drop them. Just realize one thing, Joan, that when you do this, and I'm going to get to everybody else in the meeting. I'm sorry I'm taking a little bit too long here. But as you drag and you let go, remember that your wireless network is now moving over maybe 2 or 3 gigs of music through the air in your house. So your network will be a little bit slow. All right? And that's what you do. So home sharing, find it in iTunes on the left-hand side, select the music from the iMac, drag it and drop it on top of the MacBook Pro. All right? Okay. Okay. And I've probably answered this in my answer section in the past too. All right, Cheryl, I know that you're here. I'm going to jump back to Irene real quick because we were in the middle of something and we're going to try again with Irene. Irene, let's give this another shot. I appreciate your patience. Let's give this another shot and see if I can get control of your computer because I have a feeling that the answer to your question is going to be pretty simple, but it's just a matter of me seeing and figuring out what it is. So Irene, are you still with us? All right, let me see. Ah, well, it. All right. Was that me? Yes, yes, yes. Allow that as well. Yes, we want to allow that. That's granting me permission to be able to control your screen. All right. And what should happen is we should see your screen. But for some reason, and I don't think it's on your side, I think it might be a problem on my side tonight. We're not able to see your screen. Uh, let's jump over. Irene, I don't know why that's not working. Well, I tell you what, Irene, since even though it's not working, let's go back and maybe we can better answer this question. Maybe I can just do it blindly. So we had give me a can you give me a little bit more details? You said you have one picture that lists, but the other pictures don't. Yes, yes, that's yes. Show my screen. Show my screen. Click show my screen. Yes, and select that too. Yes, give control to me. We might get this. Yes, click that. That's what we wanted. Yes. All right. Now we're in business. I can see your screen now, Irene. Thanks. Okay, can you give me an example here of one of those? Is this email one of those that you're talking about? Okay. However, this email was forwarded many times, as a matter of fact. I think it was forwarded many times. You see that line, that vertical line going right across here. See if I maybe I can control. You see that line going right across there, Irene? That tells me that it was forwarded. But then you see this line right here. That tells me it was forwarded again. In other words, this message has traveled through the internet several times. And at some point in time, not yours, not on your end, but at some point in time, somebody's email program removed those pictures. So that's not your fault. It's been forwarded several times, and at one point, whoever was in this line of this chain email, somebody's email program took the pictures out and didn't forward the pictures with the rest of the message. So you can't get to that. The placeholders there, that question. No, she can't. Well, the attachments. Where are you? Over here. Let's take a look and see. Let's see if those attachments are actually the pictures. Good spot there, Cheryl. Do you see this little area up here, Irene, where the mouse is hovering over? If I click on that save area right there, it might drop down. Yeah, that GoToMeeting might be in the way. Yeah, her GoToMeeting control panel's in the way. She can't see that area right now. Um, let's see if we can. There they are. Yeah, these are all GIFs. The thing is these GIFs right here, Cheryl, may be the yellow border or that orange border. They probably are. I don't think they're the actual pictures. I think they're the yellow and the line border there. So the JPEG is the only one. I would say we don't want to add those. All right. It might. Let's try. Irene, I am looking at the far right-hand corner of your screen, but you might not be able to see it because your GoToMeeting control panel might be in the way. Do you think it's in the way? Maybe. Well, there's a part of this email where my mouse is hovering over that I don't know that you can see. Yeah, that's a GIF. Let me close that. Yeah, you don't want to save that anyway. We were just hoping for pictures. Yeah, I can't control it from there really. But that's the situation. they've they've it's been forwarded so many times that I think those GIFs over there are those orange borders, because those actually are pictures that have to be aligned to create the image that you're looking at. But as you saw in my screen, when somebody actually sends you pictures, and not just like these little attachments and an invitation or whatever, but actual pictures, like here's a picture I took, here's another picture I took, here's another picture I took, they're all going to list out and they're all going to view. You can see them a lot better. All right. Okay. There was something else I was. All right, Irene. We'll see you next time. All right, Cheryl. What have you got? Well, let's jump over and take a look and see what we're talking about here. Is that okay? All right. All right. I will watch as you got. I'll watch as you steer. Okay. Um, yeah, you can go to show my screen. There should be a message there. Uh, Irene is, as you can tell, I think. What, say that again? Oh, not yet, not yet. So, uh, still should see a message there for me to see your screen. There we go. Yeah, yeah, I can see your screen now. Okay, so you're using this iSkysoft slideshow maker. All right, tell me about it. Mm-hmm. Right, right. Well, okay. Let me pause you. Let me pause you for a moment, and let me take you back about 5 seconds. Web Gallery for Mac. That's the application you're talking about, and no. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I think I might. Okay, I see a small little problem there. First, let's do a couple things here, Cheryl. Let's close some of these applications. You have about 14 applications open, and we want to quit some of these so that we can better use the other applications. Now, a fast way to do this, Cheryl, is to hold the Command key and then touch the tab. And when you hold the Command key and touch the tab, you have a list of applications that are going to show up. Yeah, hold the Command key with your thumb and then touch the tab key, and you'll see that long list there. Now, if you tab over to, say, Safari, so you could go tab, tab, and get to Safari, then you could go Q and it would quit Safari. Your thumb has to stay on the Command key the whole time. So this is a really good, and it's worth taking the time to learn how to do this. This is so much faster than. Oh, you've got a lot of things up. Well, we don't have to, but it would help. Right, right. These things open at random. So you can do it that way too. You can just choose to quit. So just quit the ones that you can afford to quit right now. But if there's unsaved work, then you can leave that open, of course. All right. I just wanted to free up a little bit of RAM so that when we moved some things around, we wouldn't be too held up. Okay. That's good enough. Let's look at this web gallery for Mac. Now, if you hover over the web gallery for Mac, yeah, you're right there at it. I see that there is an image for Web Gallery for Mac. There's a virtual disk image right above it there that's a white image. So let's see if it's actually installed correctly first. Do this. Take. Okay. Well, okay. You see where you have your mouse, and then about an inch up and an inch to the right, there is a white square that says Web Gallery for Mac, right? Okay, so before I go any farther, I want to see that you installed it correctly. Because what you're supposed to do is drag the image that's inside that box into your applications folder. But they never give you really good instructions that you're supposed to do this. So several, right, yeah. Yeah, and we can see over here, iSky Soft is the same. The Flash Player is the same. If it doesn't come from the App Store, then you have to do this little task. So let's do this. Go down to the icon web, the little circle web gallery for Mac in the dock, and I'd like you to do this, Cheryl. Click and drag it out of the dock and let it go until it poofs away. Click, drag out of the dock. I'm probably about 3 or 4 seconds behind you, so I'll know once it's gone. If it poofed away, then it's out of the dock. Good. Okay, now let's open up a Finder window. You can click, yeah, that's right. You can click on the happy face to get a Finder window open. And I want to get to your Applications folder. And I want to see that Web Gallery for Mac is in the Applications folder. Okay, yeah, there we go. And W's or the M's, W's. Do we see it in there? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so now drag this window to the left so that we can see that little white square that it's covering up right now. Okay. All right. Now, you see the, yeah, I've got some other things downloading. Let me yeah, I'm sorry. Let's see if, yeah, I've got some things downloading in the background tonight that are I can't stop. Okay, double click the Web Gallery for Mac icon. Okay. Now what you want to do is drag that icon into the Applications folder. And then let it go. Now drag a copy of that from the Applications folder. Oh, you double clicked it and opened it. Go down to the, yeah, well, I think you did because it's open down there. Go down to the web, yeah, and click. Oh, okay, well then let's click on it and quit it. See, Cheryl, we want to run this application from the Applications folder. We don't want to run it from the white box. So the goal is we have to move it into the Applications folder, then we try to run it. So go and quit that thing. Did it quit? Good. Now let's drag a copy from the Applications folder into the dock. Yep. Yes. Yes. And it has to be on the left-hand side of the line. And then let it go once the other icons move out of the way. There you go. Okay, now we can close that window at the top. We can get that out of there. Yeah, we can close that. Yeah, we can close all those windows. And then those little disks that are still sitting on your desktop, you can drag those to the trash eventually. But yeah, you can drag that to the trash. And you'll notice when you drag it to the trash, your trash can becomes an eject icon. Yeah. All right, now let's fire. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically it's like this. When you order something, well, here's a perfect example. I just ordered this headset today that I'm wearing, and it came in a box. And then when I opened the box, there was a package. So the same thing is true, and then finally I get the product and I can throw this stuff away. So the exact same thing is true with this software that you download. You download the software, it comes in a box. You open the box, you take the product out, you install it into the Applications folder, then you have this leftover stuff that you throw away. Those little images on the desktop are the boxes that the software came in from the internet. So you can drag those to the trash. Well, let's save that question for just a moment. We're going to come back to it because that is a very important question. Let's see if that Mac Gallery application will open now that it's launching from the right place. And click it. And if we get the light, yes, we want to allow permission for that. And there you go. So now it's open. So now you would go and pay for it if you liked it. Probably not. Now, the other thing is, there's one that I have used recently. Of course, you could use iPhoto too to do this, but I'm going to launch here. Fancy Flash. Oh, you mean you want to like do some kind of workaround, kind of fancy stuff? Well, you get what you pay for. Yeah. No, I think what one of the things you could do is go to the App Store. In other words, right now you're shopping in a little bit of the wrong place, possibly. Go shop in the App Store. Go to the Mac App Store. That's the circular, the blue circle. Click that. Do a search for like slideshow, and there's probably some there. The problem with those is none of them are trial versions. The Apple will not let trial versions exist in the App Store. So they might be 99 cents. They might be free, but if they're free, they're probably not. Yeah, yeah. But let's try that. All right, I'm gonna pop back over to Joan, and then Joanne. I see that you came in. Joan, you've been so patient. Do you have anything else that we can pop in and answer? I know that you have some other larger things too. Then it's the. How did you transfer this data? That's weird. You. Oh, I see. Well, that's why then. Yeah. Okay. Then the same thing's going to apply here. What you'll do, it's the same concept. You're going to open up iPhoto in one library. You're going to open up iPhoto in the other computer as well. I'll open up my iPhoto here and I'll show you what you're going to do. You're going to turn on sharing on the iMac. You don't have to turn on sharing on the MacBook Pro because you're trying to pull from a device. You're not trying to give the iMac anything. Uh, so within iPhoto, okay, so you're going to go, after you open up iPhoto, you're going to go to Preferences, look at your iPhoto preferences, select Sharing, and make sure that it says Share My Library and that you have selected to share everything in your library. Yeah, yeah, yes. And once you've gotten iPhoto Preferences, there should be a Sharing area. Yes, that's what you want. That's exactly what you want. Share your entire library. And then you're going to open up iPhoto on your MacBook Pro, and you will see your iMac's library listed in iPhoto, in your MacBook Pro's iPhoto. You will then go and find. No, well, if that required password was checked, we're breaking up a little bit here. I've lost you. Say again. Okay. Right. Yeah, do not require a password. It's your own home, you're in your own network. Just make it easy. So, sharing, select to share all of your pictures. No password is required. Then and make a note that shared name is like Jones Library or whatever. Then open up iPhoto on the other computer, and over on the left-hand side, just like in iTunes, over on the left-hand side, you're going to see the same type of thing. You're going to see your other library. Select all those, drag and drop them, just like we did with iTunes. All right? All right. Get your voice back, Joan. I'm going to jump over to Joanne. Joanne, what have you got this evening? Ah, good question. I've gotten this question several times. So what she's asking about is in the phone. Finally, I get to use my phone tonight. Uh, in iCloud, she wants to know if she should be using this storage, this iCloud backup, if that should be turned on. My answer to that, Joanne, is no. I don't recommend people use iCloud as their backup, and I'll tell you why. Uh, your phone is maybe 16 gigs, maybe 32 gigs. Apple only gives you 5 gigs of space for free. After that, they want to charge you. Now, you also need to think about what is it that I want backed up on my phone. Your music you don't need to back up because your music, if you purchased it, it's always re-downloadable at any time. It's also on your computer already, which hopefully you're backing up with Time Machine. Your pictures are being used with PhotoStream. Whenever you take a picture on your iPhone, it's automatically landing in your iPhoto library, so you don't have to back those up. Your video is one thing that iCloud would back up, but once it got to a wireless network. Your iPhone's not going to back up until it's on a wireless network. It will not back up over LTE or 3G. So that's one aspect of it. But again, if you want to back up your whole phone, you're going to have to pay for more space than 5 gigs. Your apps you don't need to back up because you can re-download those at any time. The only case that you can really make from using the iCloud backup is your settings. If you like the way that your applications are arranged and you want them to look this way the day you buy your phone from an AT&T or Verizon or Sprint store, and you want to walk out with your phone looking the same way, then you buy the phone, you sit there in the store, you open up the device and you say restore from iCloud backup. Now remember, you have to be on a wireless network, so that store would have to let you on their wireless network, and you're going to have to be there for about an hour as all that data downloads onto the phone. So just go home and plug it up and back it up to your computer. So the long answer is no, I don't recommend using that. Your calendars and your contacts are already being backed up. You don't have to turn that on for them to be backed up. All right. I personally think it's just one more way that Apple can set themselves up for getting another $20 out of you. I don't think you should do that. Yeah. All right. All right, we're going to jump back over to Cheryl. I'm going to answer that question. Cheryl, are you still with us? All right. I'm going to answer it on my desktop first. What happens very often is when we move applications around, especially like you did a little while ago, Cheryl, where you drug it from the applications folder into the dock, oftentimes what happens is people will accidentally let go of them in transit. So let's say I'm trying to move this application called Acorn down into the dock, and halfway through I let go of it. Well, Apple knows that people do this, and what will often happen, let's try it with Calculator, for instance. Now, this is an Apple piece of software. If I try to drag it down there and halfway through I let it go by accident, Apple knows that I didn't mean that. That's not what they want you to do. So what they just did was created an alias, and I know it's an alias because of that little arrow there. They created an alias there, but they left the original. They said, you know what, we're not gonna move this. Scotty's an idiot. He shouldn't have done this in the first place. So I didn't move the original. Other times, instead of making an alias, they duplicate it. If you drag a program over, it copies the entire program onto the desktop. But still, they don't want you to do this. So we need to deal with that Pages app on your desktop. That's not where it should be. So the first thing we need to do, Cheryl, I'm going to jump back over and take a look at your screen. I want to see if A, is it in your applications folder right now? Because that's where it needs to be. If it's not, we need to move that desktop app back into the applications folder. If it is in the applications folder, then we can just throw it away. But you should see a message for me to see your screen. Okay, and don't see it yet. I'm really slow tonight, guys. I apologize. I've got some things downloading. I think I'll be speeding up in about a minute. Okay, go to the Finder window. So open up a Finder window with the happy face. Do we have a Finder window open yet? Okay. I don't see one. I see a frozen picture of me. Okay, all right. I think I'm maybe refreshing. So Cheryl, you do have a Finder window open. Well, since I'm behind you, that's okay. I don't have to see it. Look inside the Applications folder and see if Pages is in the Applications folder. Is it? It's gonna. Oh no. Look under iWork '09. I'm sorry. There's the folder there, iWork '09. Look inside that, and that's probably where it is. It's not. Ah, very good that we looked. Drag that Pages app back into that folder. Let it go. That's where it needs to live. That's its resting place. It's kind of like you just that would have not been a great thing. So let's go one step farther here. Can you are you in a position where you can quit Pages right now? I know you've got some things open. Can you quit Pages and save a few of those things, or do they need to stay open right now? Well, when you quit, if it's not saved, it's going to go, hey, you need to save this. It's not going to just quit and not save your work. So if you didn't have anything to save, then it would just quit. All right. Now reopen Pages. Click and reopen Pages. What we want to do is make sure that the alias is pointing to the right place. If the alias were pointing to the app on the desktop, then the next time you click it, it might look to the desktop and go, where's the app? I can't find it. So it looks like we're good here. Looks like everything's fine. Okay. All right. Excellent. Crisis. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's not cheap. I've got it on my machine. I downloaded it. I think we probably talked about it a little while ago. And the two that come to mind are Pixelmator and Acorn. They're sort of competitors in the low-end Photoshop market. I don't really use it. Of the two, I think I can't really say yet. I used both of them. I don't. No, I don't have a need to use them, so I don't really want to recommend one over the other. I have used both of them, but it's been a while since I've used them, so I can't say. But I will say this: there are free trials of both, and you go download free trials of them and try them out for yourself. I think you'll quickly realize which one you like the best. They're similar, and I think they both position themselves as 60 or $70 versions of Photoshop, basically. I don't know exactly the price. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, there's no returns. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think you can return it. So yeah, I wouldn't say take the reviews with a grain of salt, but I would say read through more than one or two reviews. Look and see, like for instance, if you go back up to the top there, you can see that has really only been reviewed about 6 or 7 times, but that might be that version of the software. One of the things that Apple does is they say, well, we will only let you review this particular version. So let's say if 2.0 is fantastic and gets all these great reviews, it's got 300 reviews and they're all 5 stars, and then the software company comes out with 2.1 and there's a problem, 3 or 4 reviews, you don't get to see all the 300 reviews. You only see the 3 or 4 reviews of the really bad version of 2.1. So if they have a problem, it's like a restart every time they update the software. Um, so sometimes you have the ability to go back and look at all the reviews and not just the reviews on that particular version. You see, it says average rating for the current version of the software down there. I think there's an area in there where you can look at other versions too. But but yeah, I mean, hey, I'm not defending this. I think that $6 is pretty high for a piece of software, especially if you dig around, you might find something that works for you and it's free too. All right. Uh, Joan, let's go back and let's hit another one of these issues. You might have a big issue. Another one. We've gotten two. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I love the Seagates. I'm not a fan of the Western Digital My Books. Every hard drive dies. It's a smaller drive, right? Yeah, the drive that you're talking about is this size. The drive that I would love for you to get, I've got several, but they're all plugged in. Um, Actually, no, I've got one. Hold on. Here, this is a Seagate, I think it's called a GoFlex, and this is the drive that I recommend. It's a very large drive. Obviously, this is not a portable drive. You can buy a 2 terabyte for about $129. You cannot get a 2 terabyte of this size. And if you could, it'd be crazy enormously expensive right now. Well, they're backed up. They're don't think of iCloud as a backup for anything as far as your pictures and things go. So, well, I mean, you could buy a 1 terabyte for $80 probably, maybe even cheaper than that at this point. But yes, I do recommend the Seagate GoFlexes over the Western Digital MyBooks. Full disclosure, however, the one that I'm holding in my hand, which is brand new, is dead. That's why I have this drive in my hand, because it's dead. So uh, they do die, but this is, I think I've seen two of these die, and I've probably seen 80 Western Digitals die. So they all die, but this is a good solid drive. All right, that changes things. I was thinking in terms of iMac a little bit. You have that nice convenience of having the cable that you can take with you. So, this is an ugly version of what you have, a My Passport, or yeah, Western Digital's is the My Passport. Seagate's is called the Momentous, I believe, something like that. Um, if this See, this is going to sit on a desk, right? And you're going to plug it up when you set your computer down. This you can take around with you, and you could back up upstairs, or you could back up in the kitchen, or you could back up somewhere else. So it's just whatever your lifestyle is like. The problem is, this is more expensive for less space. This is cheaper for a whole lot more space. So, uh, I honestly, I think this is a better way to go. It's you have your power cable sitting somewhere. You're probably not moving your power cable around your house. You probably have a desk area where you're sitting now, most likely, and that power cable sits there. You're going to bring the laptop, sit it down, plug it up, and charge it. Is that right? Or are you going to move the charger around with you? Yeah. Well, Well, if you, the reason I ask that question is if you're the kind of person that leaves that power adapter in one place, then you've established a headquarters for your computer where your computer comes. If you have a headquarters or a designated desktop area, then get one of these because this is a lot better. It can just sit in that place and it plugs up right when you charge it. Uh, but if you're the kind of person you're going to be moving around all the time with this thing and you're carrying your power adapter from room to room, then this doesn't make a lot of sense. This thing doesn't make sense because you're never going to back up to it. That's when this becomes a better way. Now, Joan, you've heard me several times over the years talk about time capsule. Uh, and I had the client that I had at 5 o'clock today. They had a time capsule, and their time capsule had problems. I am not a fan of the time capsule made by Apple. It would be a perfect solution if it worked because it's a hard drive inside a router. You come home, you open your computer, and it just automatically backs up. That's fantastic, but it doesn't work like that all the time. Sometimes it works. I'm frustrated with time capsule. I'm sick of dealing with them. I'm sick of telling people that they spent $300 on this piece of hardware that doesn't work very well. Get a hard drive, plug it up. Done. All right? Yeah. Yeah, you froze on me a little bit. I don't know if that's on my side, but yeah, you can just plug it up and unplug it off and on. Doesn't matter. Can anybody else hear me, or is that John? Did I freeze? I don't hear anybody. Oh, you're coming back. Yeah, I've lost you here. I think you're coming in again. Uh, Yeah, let me see. When I opened up that iTunes, I started downloading like a million things. So let me see if I can quit that, and that'll help me. Okay, are we back? Okay, sorry. You were saying something. I don't remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Plug it in whenever you want. So when you plug it up, it just picks up from the last time that it backed up, which is fine. All right, we're starting to run close on our time here, so I'm going to swing back over. Cheryl, did you have any other follow-ups, any other short, real quick question that we needed to hit? Okay. All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Joanne. What else do you have anything else this evening? Take it. Uh, Back up. I didn't hear you. Oh, yeah, we're having some. I lost you at this is probably a stupid question. Say again. Yeah, we're having some problems. I've lost you. Do you have a spam? Ah, man. Yeah, you're in and out, Joanne. Do you have a spam folder? Yes, you do. Um, if you are living in Gmail, then the answer is a little bit different. Spam is junk mail. So you have a junk mail filter. If you're using the stamp, which you probably are, then over on the left-hand side, you have a junk folder. Now, that is if you've turned on junk mail filtering. Can you hear me okay, Joanne? Okay, so with your mail application open, and you can review this. I'll post this up on the web after we finish recording tonight. But if you go to your preferences, you need to make sure that junk mail filtering is turned on. If you go into junk, preferences first, and then to junk, you'll see you have the ability to enable junk mail filtering. On this computer, I have it set to the first level. That means it's marking it as junk, but it's leaving it in the inbox. If you select the second level, which is kind of what I recommend, then it will say, well, look, we will move all the messages into the junk folder that we think are junk. And this is happening at the computer level. And now you have a junk folder over here. And that junk folder is filled with all the things that the computer has designated that are junk. If you're using a Gmail account, then junk mail filtering is probably happening at the server level before it gets to you, and then again on the at the computer level. So I don't know if I've answered your question. Did I answer your
Yes.
question? I've lost you. But guess I wanted to just check. Say again. Oops. Shoot. I've lost you. The other thing to think about here, I'll move this over. I need to kind of hide some of that. The other thing that you've got to that you need to consider is if you're using a Gmail account, down at the bottom over here on the left side of your email program, you have the ability to show and hide folders. If you've clicked to hide them, then you're probably hiding what are called your IMAP folders. So if you click show, then you're going to get a list of folders. One of them is most likely your spam folder that's living on the server. And are you a Gmail person? Are you using Gmail? Okay, then that spam folder is going to be listed over there. All right. All right, that's all we have time for this evening, and our connection is really bad this evening anyway. So, all right, I will take my leave of you guys. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, and I will be back next Monday. Hopefully, the audio works a little bit better tonight, and we'll see. All right, we'll see you guys next time.